Yeah, this is for Facebook Live.
Oh. Dual streamies.
Excuse me. Oh my gosh, folks, you can't believe it. I can't believe it. No one knows what the truth is anymore. Is there a God? I think so. Welcome to Rank You very much. Today's episode, Nail, they'll say it's a doozy, and I agree. Today's episode of Rank You very much, the podcast we rank anything and everything. Today's episode is Thing Women Are Most Tired of Hearing. We're finding out what women are most tired of hearing. Women, not only they be shopping, they also hear a lot of things that some would say are just annoying, and I've never done it. But to help me out, we have two special guest experts. To the left of me, of course, is the recovering misogynist herself, Mariah Anglin.
Thanks for having me.
Mariah, as a recovering misogynist, I have to ask, what made you see the light?
Well, I realized that it can't possibly be every other woman on the planet that has the problem, and maybe I was internalizing some misogyny.
Okay.
So I decided to seek out the root of that and get rid of it.
So you realize that it's possible, probable even, that women aren't the problem.
I just meant that me interacting with every other woman and thinking she sucks.
Gotcha.
I was probably
That makes sense. So it's more in your, probably the misogyny aspect of your life.
Right,
Not helpful.
Right, yeah.
That's good. That's good. You're seeing a light. Are you getting, help? Are you going to therapy sessions, or is it just are you just quitting cold turkey?
I think it's just, framing the way I look at things. Am I coming from a misogynist point of view inherently, and is that what I'm looking into?
All right. Sweet. Thank you, Mariah. And Gwen, Sunkel over here, usually say the thing first, and I said her name first. I apologize. I am hungover. To the right of me, folks, you may know her as the mansplanation translator herself, Gwen Sunkel.
Hi, thanks for having me on the show, Joe. Super excited to be here.
No problem. I gotta ask, is it possible I could ask you to translate a mansplation?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you could say something about your life, Mariah. Oh, I don't know if you heard Mariah. Mariah is a recovering misogynist. A misogynist is someone who thinks women are more of a problem than men.
Right. So my advice to everyone there would have just been to listen to Mariah the first time.
Oh!
It's really less of a translation and more of an advice to just listen to Mariah.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand what she's saying, though. I can explain it. Okay, I just don't know. Are we good?
Yeah, no, I think
I feel like I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
so.
you get it.
Cool.
Yeah, so I go to a lot of craft conventions. I go to a lot of Pussy Riot concerts. I go to a lot of Planned Parenthood meetings. And, there's a man on stage, much like a sign language interpreter, interpreting everything for the women. And then I just explain it all back to them.
Gotcha. It's like reverse engineering.
Exactly.
Perfect. Yeah. I love that movie with Ben Affleck. Where he's a reverse engineer.
Yeah.
It didn't do very well, and not a lot of people saw it.
It was 66% of the population, if we're judging by this sample.
That was jiggly, right?
It was. It's actually pronounced jiggly.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jiggly.
As always, folks, we have the list behind me of what we're going to talk about. We have 14 items today. Later on in the show, you are allowed. You are welcome to add your own choice to this. I will permit it.
This was a hot topic.
This is a hot topic. We had a lot of comments on it, so I'm assuming this will, blow up on all the things. We might get on Vice News. Anyways, folks, behind me, as always, the list. The things that we talk about of thing most women. Or thing women are most tired of hearing. Not all men. I don't have female friends. You're not like other girls. Why can't you just be nice? Are you on your period? I feel uncomfortable saying these out loud right now, just so everyone knows.
Good.
You should smile. Other women have it worse. I mean, this is uncomfortable. Women aren't funny. That one's fine. And you're being bitchy. I hate that word. Women are indecisive. You'll change your mind about having kids. This never happens. Women are crazy. Well, actually. So that's the list we'll be talking about. As always, we start with the veto round. And we start with the youngest person here, Gwen Sunkel.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to say, first of all, I have definitely heard all of these things.
So, okay.
All of these things.
I just said them all.
Yeah.
But to you, for the veto round, for people to understand, she's going to take one off the list that she doesn't think is the thing women are most tired of hearing. So
thanks for mansplaining that to everybody.
I'm mansplaining my own podcast. I'm mansplaining my man podcast. My man cast.
I know. I get it.
God damn it! This is going to be like a tongue twister, but I don't. Gwen, you're up. I thought you were taking a picture. I thought that was like I was like, what are you doing in the middle?
The moment Joe realized he really stepped in it.
By the way, this is being recorded.
Yeah, that's all. I was as shocked as you are. And anyways, Gwen, you're up. What are you taking off the list? Jesus.
Okay, so yeah, definitely, I've heard all of these things before. I guess the thing that it is most important as like a woman, a white woman especially, who like has relative privilege, like that other women really do have it worse. So, like, I can be reminded of that every day. And
nice! Yeah. I mean, you started off saying, as a white woman, I was like, well, this is not going to go the way we want it to go. But
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, even though, I'm a woman and, like, I've heard all of this bullshit before, I absolutely need to remember every single day that other women do have it worse. In our own city, in our own country. Like, not to mention, like, a lot of times that comes up in terms of, like, you know, women wearing burqas or, you know, genital mutilation in sub-Saharan Africa or something. But I think, you know, I have it okay.
Yeah.
I have it okay, let's be honest.
Yeah, you know, but Gwen, I mean, you're right.
I know!
Genital mutilation in Africa is a real problem. You may not know. It's it's female genital mutilation. It's unbelievable they do it out there in the continent of Africa.
They do it here in the United States to men, though.
Yeah, they do. I got me one of those.
Yeah.
It's a luxury item, I think, and it really shows class.
It's a status symbol.
I'm just saying I have an aerodynamic dick, is what you know, the wind is fast, I'm good.
So, I picture most of your sexual encounters being in one of those, like,
wind tunnels?
Oh, yeah, and indoor skydiving.
Yeah. Right, you're just, like, gyrating.
Well, you don't want to, like, have it flap open, you know?
Why else is it aerodynamic?
That's what I'm saying. You get that parachute, that's not helping you. And, anyway.
I was thinking more like a drag race situation where it's like, boom!
I just, you know, who knows? You know, nobody knows. Mariah, you're up next.
Yeah, I would like to get most of the penis talk out of the way on this one, so I would like to get rid of number 12, that this never happens.
Wow.
I go down on me. Like, the end.
So you're saying that you don't care about hearing it because you already have a plan after that sentence.
I just don't feel like it's a thing plaguing women the most. You know what I mean? It's not like the thing that you're hearing every day on the street or like in your job. It's just in personal relationships, and you can resolve that interpersonally. It's not like I mean, it's part of a larger issue, but like have a conversation with your partner.
There's another solution. Just because like you're no longer erect doesn't mean that there's not another solution to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree, and also that seems to be, it's not necessarily, I don't know, maybe it is, but it doesn't seem that as much talking down to a woman as self-embarrassment and saying it.
Right.
So I agree with your choice here. Not that it matters that I agree, because it's your choice.
Sure
Obviously, it doesn't.
If we just had, you need an intern, so we can do little things like keep a count of every time you just
Joe feels uncomfortable. Ding!
Well, the entire time. Again, folks, if you're just tuning in, we're doing a women's, the thing women are most tired of hearing. We just did the veto round. Gwen took off, other women have it worse. Mariah took off, but that never happened before. Now it is time for me to veto one of these off the list.
I can't wait!
I'm not looking forward to it. So let me look at the. What's the? I watched What Women Want 3 times before this podcast.
Mel Gibson, if I'm not mistaken.
No wonder it's going so well. Yeah, absolutely.
This is what women want. You nailed it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this sentence. I know the problem people have with the sentence, and. You know what? No, because I thought my explanation, I just realized what it was going to be, and that was way worse. So let me take a second here and not say that one. Fuck. I don't.
You swing this so hard,
I'm gonna go with. Oh fuck! Because you guys made a big deal about it on the comments. I can't do that one. I'm gonna go with I don't have female friends. I'm saying I don't have female friends. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm vetoing.
Okay.
I feel like there are some women who don't have female friends, and that's okay. All right. I know some people are upset that they're just more a catty, but I think I don't have female friends is better than the other ones because it's a female saying it, not necessarily a man saying it. So I think we should really go after these men.
That's a super safe choice. But like
these men, yourself not included.
So what this is saying is that like women who say like I'm not friends with other women because women are judgy or catty or I have fights with them, and that's you need to look hard at why you don't have female friends.
There's a reason it's on the list.
Yeah.
I'll say that. It's not great to say, but.
And also you're right. It's a shitty thing that generally we hear from other women as opposed to hearing from other men or from.
Well, most men just have this assumed that you just know that they don't have a lot of female friends. Okie dokes. Well, I dodged the first bullet of the first veto. We've got 2 more rounds of vetoes, so I can't imagine this is going to go good. Next up, we start with the oldest person here, Gwen Sunkel. You're up.
Okay. So I would like to take off the list. Are you alright, Joe?
No, I'm not. I just realized that was the only one I could have said that was fine. So.
Joe, we will respect you and respect your opinions. We're here to have this discussion and tell you why you're wrong.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. Believe.
Oh, I know you'll let me know. You took pictures of it. Gwen, you're up next. What are you vetoing off the list as not the thing women are most tired of hearing?
All right.
Words.
I know that this is going to be a controversial pick, but I want to take off. Are you on your period? Because here's the deal, y'all.
That's what I was going to take off.
Now he's brave.
Here's the deal, y'all. I feel like shit when I'm on my period, and I am not nice because I feel terrible, and that's okay. I would like more people to ask me if I'm on my period, and I say yes. They say, what can I do to make that less burdensome for you?
That's a great idea. And I think intonation is important on that. If it's a dismissive, are you on your period because you called someone out for their bullshit, that can fuck all the way off. But if, like you're saying, in a caring tone.
You look tired and seem edgy. Are you on your period? Do you need some coffee? Do you need to take a nap?
We are in the ocean surrounded by sharks. Are you on your period?
Why are you doing that research then?
Well, you feel worse asking before you get stuck in the water, you know?
That's true.
I think a woman will understand the implications of going in shark-infested water on her period. And the fact that you think you need to take it upon yourself to ask that question is sort of shitty.
Yeah.
Sort of shitty.
Well, I just want her to know if something happens, it's her fault. That did not get the laugh I was hoping for. Jesus Christ. I'm really going to watch a comedy here, Joe. You know, sharks are a real problem in today's America.
Well, are these street sharks?
Street sharks, baby. Deep blue sea, baby. Holy moly. No, you're right, Mariah. I apologize. So are you on your period? You're taking off.
Yeah, I want more people to ask about it. I think we should be talking about periods more. It shouldn't be this thing we don't talk about.
So I've had a Mirena for like a while now, so I haven't had a period in a while. An IUD, yes, an intrauterine device. So that I don't.
I was just letting you know because it's a brand name specific thing.
I know about IUDs. It's the only thing I truly care about. Jesus Christ, that was. I'm obviously doing a character, everybody.
I don't know though.
I don't know.
Anyway, so I have so much like awe and respect for women who like. I don't understand why men don't respect women more when they're on their periods because I don't want to go back to that life and I'm so scared of it. Like. Just fucking respect it and ask how you can help. Like a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's like 12 times a year you gotta help.
You gotta give a shit 12 times a year?
I know.
Gosh, I just want to play my video games. I'm up next. Oh, no, Mariah's up next. Thank God. I got a little bit of time before I lose all faith in humanity. Mariah, you're up next. What are you taking off the list of this veto round?
I think I'm sick of hearing something in this vein, but I think that men are maybe experiencing it as well. Maybe not to the extent that women are, but that you'll change your mind about having kids. I feel like that's a cultural mindset that, I mean, obviously affects women the most, but like my husband gets as much shit from his family too for like not wanting more kids.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's
So it's a universal gripe.
It's a universal, like people can't just mind their own business about like your procreation preferences.
I agree with that as well. As I'm made from a traditional family, I get that question sometimes.
So you feel Mariah's pain.
They don't want me to do comedy as much because then I can have a family.
It must be so hard for you.
Oh.
It's tough.
But let's get deep and look into this though.
Right.
There's legitimately like a time limit for a woman, whereas you see a lot of men. I think that's like why you see a lot of older men in Hollywood like marrying younger women is because they were had their career while they were young and hot and successful.
Yeah.
And they can do the family thing later.
And they can do the family thing later, whereas women like don't necessarily have that luxury. Like there's definitely a time limit on it.
Agreed. Well, yeah, I know men. There's I think it's a very higher risk of autism after 40, having a kid.
Yeah, well, just a lot of like birth defects or I don't want to call them defects, but differences. And some health problems can result from having kids in an older age. So.
With that being said, okay, so is it only a geriatric pregnancy if the mom is over 40 and like they don't consider any of the health risks if it's the dad as well, or like how much is that?
So it affects it, but obviously the woman like affects it more.
Right, but is there like a consideration for like an older?
Yeah.
Gwen has a medical background, in case you're wondering. So she knows what she's talking about.
I just think Gwen knows everything, so I'm gonna ask her like if I have law questions.
That's how I got the translator job.
Exactly. That's. They just have a guy come in. He's like, cancer for everybody. Well, no, not everybody. What a horrible person. Cancer for everybody. I'm a guy. Guys. Speaking about guys watching and women. All people watching.
Who was watching? Oh, hi everybody.
Mary Hauser, Patrick Fowler, Nolan Miller, Charles Isma Stockholm, Kyle Buck, and Amity have all tuned in.
Hey y'all.
I don't know who's watching still, but they've all tuned in at some point in this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Give us a comment. How you think how uncomfortable I am is. I'm up next to veto something off this list. And, you know what? I think you just gave me an out. I am going to go, based on what this podcast is, and how it works, I feel like it's okay to take this one off. Women are indecisive. Based on the suggestion of what the topic is, and the amount of things I was given, this is the most suggestions I've given since Best Thing in Star Wars.
Wow.
So it's obviously people, women have all different beliefs on what the thing they're most tired of hearing is, which in turn, using some simple transitive property would mean that women may be indecisive.
Oh, because there were a lot of comments on it.
So because
Yes.
there are a lot of problems that women face, we're indecisive for having so many of them? I don't understand.
Yes.
Okay.
What's he saying?
That's an interesting take on it. Yeah. Take on things.
There's no way of knowing, you know? It feels like you guys are being indecisive of my own choice. So I feel...
Taking a moment to make your decision should not be conflated with indecisiveness, and the fact that we're sitting back and choosing our words carefully is something you could fucking learn. Go ahead.
Okay.
Joe, you're allowed to be wrong. So, if you want to take women are indecisive as the thing women are most sick of hearing off of this list, then by all means.
Let's see. Here are the comments on that as well. Dumb logic, Joe. Haha, I'm a man and also very, very indecisive. I kind of want to get offended.
On whose behalf?
I don't know.
Favorite episode.
These are men watching and men commenting, so that's my audience. Oh god.
Is this feminist homework for the weekend?
Yeah, this is our community service.
Yeah. I actually hope some people are going to learn some stuff today.
I hope so too. Now that I know that's our audience, I thought it was just other women commiserating with us.
Well, they loved commenting.
They're making sandwiches.
For these guys commenting.
These guys are busy commenting. They're working up an appetite.
And all Miller says is here just to watch Joe fail. I'm taking off women are indecisive. You guys didn't convince me to keep it up there. I'm saying that. That's a fine thing to say. It's not as worse as a...
It's a fine thing?
It's a fine thing.
It's a fine thing to say in a condescending manner.
Oh, as long as you're just...
What, are you punching up with it?
Yeah, I'm punching up. I mean, women have it. Anyways, let me just... I'm a robot.
Of all the things that women hear, being indecisive is probably, on the more harmless scale.
You know, when I think about it, of all the things that women hear, indecisiveness is most likely the least of the deadliest ones. That's the second round of veto. That got a lot tougher. As always, we've got the third round of veto with the most in the average age of all of us person. Gwen Sunkel, you're up.
Okay. What do we got next?
Holy crap.
What we have next?
I'm not excited.
Let's see.
It's tough. It gets tough.
It is getting tough. You know what I'm gonna say is you're being bitchy. Because sometimes I don't owe being nice to anybody. Sometimes
Gotcha.
I am being bitchy, and that's on purpose.
And you think you need...
And that is not, you're not using that is not a weapon against
Yeah.
me to say, you are, I don't see, being bitchy as a bad thing.
So
I'm standing up for myself.
I think
I'm putting my foot down.
I agree with what you're saying, but I think this phrase was brought up in the idea of a woman and a man saying the same thing, and the woman is being bitchy for saying the exact same thing, like in the workplace type thing where...
And that's that's two different situations. Because sometimes you are putting off a bitchy vibe, and it's like perceptive. I am being bitchy. Please walk away. But then, like you're saying, with the two different situations, like I think that's two different conversations. So what are we deciding this one is?
I don't know. It's not my podcast.
Well, in the ease of what this is, we'll say it's just, hey, you're being bitchy. So if you could let me leave.
Well, and you know what? Sometimes it's okay to be a bitch at work. Like if it needs to be, if that's what needs to happen. And I like what is the male equivalent of like you're being a real bitch about this?
A douchebag.
A dick?
Yeah. So. Like maybe we should start throwing that around more.
I mean, if you're calling a spade, do it equally. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah,
and like, let's just be adults and recognize that we don't all have to be nice to each other all the time. It'd be nice if we could. But.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Like I had a situation at work where I had a coworker who would like overly talk to me and like take up too much of my time. To where I had to start putting up more of like a walk away now, blah, blah, and then he got upset because he thought that he was allowed like that access in that amount of time. So sometimes just putting up those boundaries that should have been there to begin with is perceived as bitchy.
Right.
So if you're doing something that's like putting good personal boundaries for yourself, like that's not bitchy.
And if you want to
keep doing that.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to call it that, that's fine. I'll be here behind my boundary.
Right. But if you're going out there like starting shit, like don't.
Yeah.
As someone who's dates a very strong woman, she would not give a fuck if you told her this.
Yeah.
She would just be like, hey, you can go fuck yourself, bye.
Yeah.
She...
Rachel is wonderful. And
she
is a qualifying statement linking yourself to her.
What's it like to be dating somebody who's so much funnier than you are?
Right. Like you're almost as smart as her.
Guys, this is aggressive. Unnecessary and hurtful. So now I know what it's like to be a woman.
Oh!
Executive producer.
From that 30 seconds, he gets it all.
That's what what women want was all about, wasn't it? That's what women want was. Jesus, it's about. Oh, okay. I thought it was just like another loaded weapon thing.
Is it like the Matrix has been unlocked?
Yeah. That's the noise the Matrix unlocked. Well, Mariah, you're up.
Okay. Let's see. Man, it is getting tough.
Yeah. Because I'm sick of hearing a lot of
most of them. Now I'm thinking about like what's the most like underlying issue, like what covers the most stuff. Okay. Oh god, no. So a lot of them I feel like tap into the same root issue, so I'll just start axing some if I feel like I can still talk about the issue later. The you should smile. I ran into that at work with another coworker. I put him in his place. It has not been an issue since. So it's annoying, but I don't know. I feel like it's something that you can again solve at like a personal
You had a
level.
coworker say you should smile?
I came out of a
dude, all the time people say that to me.
I came around a corner, he looked at me, said, hey, smile. I told him that my personal expression was none of his goddamn business to go away. And he whined to some people for a couple weeks, and then it was fine.
Not justifying it at all. But I mean, what was the age of this person?
60s.
Okay, yeah. That does seem like over 50, you'll see, I feel like then you'll see that. But I feel like the younger generation of males don't ask that, but I may be wrong.
I would say it's generally people, I would say like 40 and up, but I get that from patients at work a lot. They will tell me like, you should smile. And you know what? We should all smile more. We should all. Honestly, we should it's not going to hurt any of us to smile more. So if someone wants to give me that reminder in a non-gendered way, I'm here for it.
Again,
so
intonation.
Take it off the list. So, yeah, I'm with you, Mariah.
I just watched Mystic River with Joe, and he smiled the entire time. It was incredibly uncomfortable, and I really don't ever want to go see a movie with him ever again.
I like how you chose Mystic River.
Yeah. Well, the first first idea was Schindler's List. But like, let's not push that area. You know, just what's a depressing movie that isn't really touching on any taboo subjects? You know, Taboo's a fun game. I really like Taboo.
They changed the buzzer on it.
They did?
Instead of going, it goes, nuh-uh.
Oh.
So my family, we have the game Taboo, and the buzzer, the battery's all corroded, but we still use it. So we make the noise. So we press the button, we just, it's so, like, shove the buzzer in their face.
You don't need the buzzer.
I know, but it's, I don't know why, but it makes it like 10 million times better.
I love it.
We played Taboo with my family, and Rachel and me were on the same team versus my parents, and, my parents, my brother and his wife, so 6 of us. So I had my dad and Rachel on my team, and I got the word flashlight. And I immediately decided to try to convince Rachel to say fleshlight to get the flashlight, which led to the first time my parents and Rachel played a game together. Rachel yells out, "Pocket pussy!"
I can hear Rachel say that.
And she goes, "What the fuck? Why did you say pocket pussy in front of your parents?" And I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed.
That night, your parents were most sick of hearing.
So funny.
So your girlfriend is the funny.
Yeah, that's good. That's good times. I've been stalling.
We noticed.
But wait, Mariah, did you go up yet? No, right? For
You
the
should
third.
smile.
Oh,
You
you
should
took
remember.
Look, I'm just trying to get out of this. Are you veto another thing? Like, oh, well, I guess we got enough. Then I'll move on. I'm up next. This is probably the end of my. Shit. All right, I'm gonna say this. I think this applies to a smaller amount of women than everything else. So the reason I'm taking it off is the percentage of women affected by it compared to the other ones, which affect more women. Not that I agree with this statement. I truly don't. I truly do not agree with this statement. But feel free.
Just taking a while with your disclaimer here.
I'm going to take off. Women aren't funny.
Oh, come on! Okay, before you say any more words out of your face, are you saying because it only affects women who are in like roles as writers or comedians or actors?
Yes.
You don't. Okay, go ahead.
So again, my statement, not that it's okay to say women aren't funny, you should not say that. I'm learning.
Just now he's learning.
But I affect that women aren't funny comment is something said to a smaller percentage of women than the other items on this list. So my basis is sheerly on just a quantity statement.
Okay.
I'm going numbers. I'm going numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's why I'm taking. But you're saying it affects all women?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, just
well,
like
make it funny.
to take it to a work setting, if you are interacting with coworkers and the belief is women aren't funny and you make a joke, it's more likely to be taken the wrong way, or as you being bitchy, then, oh, men are inherently funny. If he said something off color, it was a joke.
He was joking.
He was joking.
Oh.
You're being bitchy.
You're being bitchy, because women can't be funny. So if you say something
He
off,
was joking, and women aren't funny are two different things, I think.
But she's saying if you both say the
Yeah.
exact same thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah.
they all suck at this point. I just
Yeah.
wanted to push back on your point that it doesn't affect that many women.
Okay.
Because yes, it does.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think it affects as many women as the other ones?
Probably not.
I mean,
No, goddamn it!
I just wanted to push back on that point because it was inaccurate.
Yeah,
That's what we're
I
here
know,
for.
but I'm allowed to be inaccurate. It's my podcast.
You just shut up while we correct you, and then it's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
so I I mean, I would say that Mariah, objectively, we are probably a little close to this situation to like accurately not be super offended by being told that women aren't funny. But I would also, like to your point about this happening at work, like how many of these things are happening at people, like have we talked about them happening in a work context? Like people just want to go to work and do their jobs, like why is all of this happening to women at work?
No, I would, to me, a perfect work day is going into work, sitting in my cubicle, not talking to anybody, and then going
you
home.
can probably do that without having to give someone some emotional validation throughout the day. I don't care that my face and my like squishiness makes you think of your mom. I don't need to validate your every fucking thought. And I feel like women are unfairly burdened with that, which ties into one of the other things up there.
Yeah. I can't comment about my workplace because in case they watch it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But like, so many of these complaints, like I feel like fall into like two very like some distinct categories. One being like that they're annoying because they're happening in a work setting where we're all there just to make money and do our time and leave.
Exactly.
You know?
I agree with that. We have a comment. Let me read that. Is Joe's voice an option we can write up there?
Austin, we would love.
I would say white male perspectives in general, but we can pin that on Joe. Sorry, Austin.
Fuck you, Austin. Not yet, Patrick Fowler said. Thank you for understanding the show, Patrick. Well, we are there now.
There's a format to this, okay?
We are down to our final 5, folks. Not all men. You're not like other girls. Why can't you just be nice? Women are crazy. Well, actually. So those are the 5 left. We're at the point now where it's up to you guys to decide what one we add to this one right here. Please let us know in the comments what you think we should add. As Austin said, I'm just a man, I don't understand. Let me mansplain it to you. Right now, we are doing the thing women are most tired of hearing. If you guys have any comments you want to put, things we may have missed that women hear a lot. It seems we have a lot of men watching, so I assume you're opinionated. Hopefully you're all male feminists and proud of it and yell it all the time, 24/7. But you guys are all great out there. We're going to keep going. And talk about what criteria we have to decide what is the worst thing, or thing women most, so many words, thing women are most tired of hearing. Gwen, what's your criteria? While we're doing that, feel free to comment items we may have missed.
Yeah, so I think that women are tired of hearing things that invalidate their experience, and like, you know, that say what you're experiencing isn't correct, or, you know, the well actually kind of, you know, or he meant this, he didn't really mean it like that. And then women are also real tired of people commenting on their appearance. Like, I can't, like, this might be something for the list here, Mariah. I don't know if you've experienced this, but sometimes people will say, like, what kind of message are you trying to send with that? And I'm like, what a loaded fucking question. I just put on a shirt. Like, you know, what kind of message are you trying to send with, like, your look or what you're doing or whatever? And it's just, have you ever been asked that, Joe? Like,
yes, but that's because I wear a bunch of wrinkled polos to work all the time.
So, like, do you need help?
Yeah,
Do you
that's a lot more
have access to
concern.
laundry machine?
Why haven't you shaved? Where'd you get that black eye from?
Do we have anything up here that is correlating to
You're too fat for those pants. I get that a lot.
to appearance?
Kind of the smile thing.
Yeah.
I know it came up on the suggestions a lot earlier, was that like makeup is a lie, or that like people will ask you if you're sick or not feeling well if you're not wearing makeup.
Right.
Or they're like, I don't like when women wear a lot of makeup, and then those are the first people to be like, are you okay?
Right, because what you're picturing is like natural makeup. You're picturing like a natural foundation with some mascara, and that's what you think is no makeup because you've been tricked.
Yeah. Of course
makeup is a trick then.
Of course it's a fucking trick.
Yes!
You think my lips are really this color? No, I chose it because it looks rad.
Right, and if you can't decipher that, it's like going to
That's
see
not my
Jurassic
problem.
Park and coming out and being like, fuck, there's dinosaurs everywhere. Like, if you can't decipher the artwork going into it,
Yeah.
I don't know how to help you.
I mean, this isn't my natural hair color.
Are you talking about the gray? Because that's happening very naturally.
Maybe I am talking about the gray.
I'm sick of like comments.
Thank you.
Since we're just talking about this, we don't have to put it up
Don't
there.
comment
We're
my
already pretty
looks
far
ever
into it. Like I hate the like. I don't know, like you can't win no matter what with your weight. Because people are going to say something if they think you're too big, and then recently I was around my family and I'm like the smallest I've been in a while, and someone will say something like, don't lose any more weight.
Oh, man.
Like, that's not any of your business. And also, like, I don't know, just stop commenting. Because I struggle with eating disorders, and sometimes I'm at a really low weight and it's not in a good way, and when you tell me how good I look, it really just reinforces a very nasty part. So you don't know where anybody's at with their body, like, probably just shut up. Unless they ask.
And then, or like they try to tie it to like a health thing. They're like, I'm just worried about your health.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, my mom was like, why is your acne so bad last time she saw me? And I was like, I mean, it's just kind of my face. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine. She's like, I'm just worried about your health.
Like,
I was
you-
like, bitch, I live with it every day. Like, I eat a lot of cheese, and birth control is hard.
No one has ever died from acne, I don't
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, she was just worried about my health. It's just like you're expected to look.
Mhm.
And that's not breaking any new ground here. We all know this.
Like,
But it's
yeah.
still bullshit.
When you're saying you're worried about my health, no, you're worried about how I look to you.
Right.
Like it offends you.
Yeah.
And so, nice try though.
Nice try.
But we could all do a little bit better.
Absolutely.
So we're not getting any suggestions other than my voice.
Solidarity from the community.
Do you guys want to add something, or what was she wearing, or what, or something in regards
Some
to the looks?
appearance related thing. What do you think,
I
Ryan?
feel like what was she wearing opened a whole other can of worms,
Oh.
but that's kind of involved in the not all men, I think. So if we want to just add like a general unwarranted
Comments
comments
about your
about
appearance. Yeah.
Okay, comments about appearance. Comments.
So you can do this. Really.
Wow.
Dang. Do you want me to take over, Nick? What are you committing?
Comments look.
Comments.
Comments, looks.
Comments on looks.
All right.
That works.
Cool.
It kind of looks like the Harry Potter thing. Comment on looks.
Harry Potter in the comments.
Harry Potter in the comments on looks. Yeah, it's great. Well, Harry, when are you gonna fix that scar?
I'm worried about your
Bangs are not in this season, Harry.
Hermione needs to relax.
We did a long time ago. We did best Harry Potter spell with Caitlin McPhee and Evan Offenbacher, and I never read any Harry Potter, and I still don't understand what happened in that podcast. So,
What one? Do you remember?
I don't know. It was Latin.
Right. Most of them are. Which one?
I think there's a one where you make a small creature, like a.
Oh, Expecto Patronum.
Yeah, I think I expect a Patronum one.
Yeah, yeah.
Very easy.
But
Joe, can I ask you a question? Are you more uncomfortable on this episode or on the episode where Dwight Simmons and Corey Ewing counted down the worst white man?
I'm probably more uncomfortable now, because the worst white man one was also like a history background that I was learning. Like, I didn't know much about J. Edgar Hoover, and I found out how crazy that guy is.
Yeah.
So that I found it really interesting. Probably the most uncomfortable I've ever felt on this show. Maybe this episode, but last week Charles Mustakalem and Dara Hollenquist were on it talking about the worst form of cultural appropriation, and Charles, the first thing he took off the list was Rachel Dolezal, And he defended Rachel Dolezal while Daryl argued, and they argued over me, and I was silent for 5 minutes.
Because two men were speaking, or
No, I didn't want to. It was a can of worms that I probably shouldn't be opening, you know, because the worms would get everywhere.
Right. And then you got worms.
Then you get worms everywhere. That's the worst thing is worms of all things. The worst thing, most women, worms. I got worms. Anyways, we're down to our final 6. We're gonna go one at a time. Nolan says I can tell. You're uncomfortable. Thank you, Nolan. Every day of my life I'm uncomfortable. I'm not living.
What about the one where you were on at the drag queen?
I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot because
You were not uncomfortable.
I was not that uncomfortable. The only time I was uncomfortable was when I was introducing the show and no one was saying anything. I was like, well, this fucking sucks. But then it ended up being a really good show. And we had drag queens show up on it and run in the background, which was nice. That's probably my most watched YouTube.
Oh.
But I digress. Smart word. We're going to go one at a time with a list of 6 and decide whether it's the top 3, starting with, obviously, not all men is not all men. The top 3 of thing women are most tired of hearing.
Ooh, that I am definitely tired of hearing that one, because guess what, dudes? We know it's not all men. If you are not that man, we are not talking about you. Have a seat, okay? Just have a seat.
I like sitting.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and what that is doing when you say not all men, or like, I don't do that, or none of my friends do that, or what, whatever, is you're taking the focus off of the problem and putting it on yourself. And
victimizing yourself.
Yeah. And like also the unfortunate part, I think, of what we're like seeing in like kind of today's like Me Too culture and stuff is that like, yeah, your friends and your bros are entirely capable of doing these things. So it might very well be, someone you're close to, and like you need to be aware enough to like accept that.
Mariah?
Yeah. I mean, well said. I don't know what else really to add to that. Yeah, we know. We know who it is who's doing it. Like, if you're not doing it, if you are, stop. Maybe apologize to some people. Like,
do the work.
Do the work. Yeah, don't. Also, there's the whole weird thing of just being sitting ducks and waiting for a woman to come, like, call you out. I feel like that's a weird thing that men are doing. I don't know how they're supposed to address that, but it's like, just do the work. Be proactive on not being that guy if you have been in the past.
Right. And
calling your bros and whatever out when they are being that guy, and not letting it slide when it's around you. Like, it doesn't have to be affecting a woman directly for it to be misogyny. When it's among men, you can call that out too and stop that.
Absolutely.
So if you're not part of the problem, just like be part of the solution. Don't be neutral. It's past that.
Yeah.
I feel those are very well articulated and good points.
What a good answer, Jeff.
Well, yeah, when I said Mariah, I was like, well, I don't know what to say that's gonna make me not look like an idiot. So, well, move it along. But I think a lot of people, like, not all men kind of represents the idea that, like, hey, you guys are accusing everybody, or like, are you saying all men are bad? And to me, that's fine, because when you had a culture where there was nobody fixing anything, then you're going to have a flux over whatever the equilibrium may be at the end of the day to get us to where we need to be. And that's fine. That's good. That's just progress that causes change. So I agree that it's a pretty bad thing to say.
I mean, that's phrase specifically is irritating, but there are lots of other phrases that umbrella under it that I feel like.
Oh, I thought you said what my phrase was irritating. I was like, fuck, I thought it's not so much.
It's
not about you.
There's
also,
podcast.
I think there's also with that like an undertone of you're overreacting, which is something that women hear a lot too.
Yeah.
Is that like you're lumping one really bad apple and applying that to all men. And I think, again, kind of what we're seeing is that, maybe it is a lot more of you than you think.
And we're so willing to lump other groups like that. If
Right.
the percentage of, white guys, or I mean all men, whatever, but like that have come out and had these issues, like apply to any other group. If it was like teenagers, or you know what I mean, like we would apply it so we would react so much more strongly.
We would have no problem being like, we need to do something about these teenagers.
Right. I mean, I'm saying like Tide Pods, like the reaction Tide Pods got versus like sexual assault.
Not all teenagers are eating Tide Pods.
Right.
Okay,
So we're
Mariah.
not talking to you if you're not eating the Tide Pod. Like it's pretty easy to understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Circle back.
Is not all men, so not all men were put on the bubble, then we're going to keep going through the list and decide whether it's the top 3 or is it top 3?
I mean, I think it should still be a contender. Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep it up there then for now. Next up, you're not like other girls. Is that a top 3 worst thing said to women?
Yes.
Man, I don't like that one. I don't like that one at all because I don't like insulting another woman to bring me up. Like that's not doing anything for women.
I feel like this is one that has like I was talking about has like a lot of other underlying issues, and that's why I was okay with getting rid of I don't have female friends, because I feel like this one kind of covers the same point. It's the exceptionalism, a woman being an exception to the rule. If she is fun to be around, if she is sexy and smart and creative and all those things, and it's the belief that you are the exception and that you are being separated from the pack and being glorified, and that's not good. Like, you are not...
It's harmful for a lot of reasons.
Right. You are not beautiful and smart and charming and funny in spite of being a woman. That is part of the package. It is all there together. And I feel like that's something that when I was really internalizing misogyny, I got off on that phrase a lot. I love not being like other girls because I wanted to believe that I was being elevated by men as like something special and unique, because as a woman, a lot of times that's how you gain access and you have your voice heard in a room, is kind of like, you know, you're not going to be brought in on stuff if you're not like the fun one to be around. If you can't like hang with the guys. So I feel like that's something that definitely gets manipulated, and then you benefit from it, and then you don't want to admit that maybe you like not being like other girls. And as a recovering misogynist, that's something that I try to fight against within myself, because I like to be exceptionalized. We all do. We all want a gold sticker, but I don't want it to be at the expense of the rest of women.
Absolutely.
Would this phrase be okay if it was you're not like other people?
I mean, I guess if you're just saying like you're different or unique, yeah, that's fine. But to specifically put it in a context of putting other women down to bring someone else up is not it. Like, I don't think it's necessary.
So if that last word was a broader scope.
Yeah, I mean, that because essentially with that you're just saying like you are unique.
Right, so if you were like, you're really good for a baseball player to someone who plays baseball versus you're really good for like a Chinese baseball player, like that's a little bit like,
different.
Whoa,
Yeah.
like what are you saying about the rest of my group? So,
Yeah.
Right.
And then also problematic in this, if I can get on my soapbox a little bit more, the word girls. I think you'll notice that Gwen and I have both used women. I don't particularly care for the word lady. I think you can keep that one too. It's important to say women. It's important to not infantilize. It's important to not shy away from that word as something dirty or weird or just on public restrooms. Like, it's okay to say women.
Yeah.
And please stop saying girls. If she's an adult, if she can vote.
Oh, and females.
Oh.
Stop saying females.
No.
Ah!
What?
Wait, females?
Yes, please explain this, because I feel like
I don't understand. So this is.
I don't understand females. Why are females always causing such a ruckus?
Female comedian.
Female comedians.
Well, woman comedian doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because a female human is a woman. A female is just...
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
Gotcha.
So
okay. Well,
yeah. So
that's a new one. I did not know that was an issue. Saying the word
women
female.
do not care for that.
So women is the preferred nomenclature for women.
Yeah. Correct.
Female not so much. Okay. I guess that's true, because it's like that's your gender. That's not like okay. Yeah. I guess I wouldn't want to be called the group of males.
Yeah.
That always has negative
That
connotations.
sounds like livestock.
Sounds
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. That
Yeah.
makes sense. I will say this in regards to this sentence. I think most people suck, and I hate most people. But I understand the phrase girls. So the reason I ask for people is that to me, when someone stands out as unique, how should I best say that? And definitely not that way. Or I guess I could just say, hey, you're really unique.
Well, what about them? Like,
Yeah.
the way you...
Well, say any details. No, I'm joking. I'm just making a joke.
Is this compliment for you or them?
No, the comment's always for me.
Then don't worry about it.
No. So you're saying you take the unique property and comment specifically on that property, what you like about them, where it's not so much doing a general thing where they have to understand what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. So this has this. I think this belongs in the top 3 for several reasons. Because it contains girls. Because it puts down other women, and like it should, like, we hear this from other women most, and misogyny hurts everybody, and women can be misogynistic too.
Are you misogynist right here?
Yeah, exactly.
Charles Stockholm says, if you were words on a page, you'd be fine print. He was the guy who took Rachel Dolezal off last week. Next up.
Well, he's obviously knows what's going on.
Why? I think he's just trying to, leave in the awkwardness of this. Why can't you just be nice?
So I will agree that everyone should just be nicer, and I agree that there is an unfair standard on women to be nicer than there is on men. But I don't think this belongs on the list because I think like everybody should just, as like on a base level, be trying to be nicer.
Yeah,
at all times. I don't know.
What do you realize, Mariah?
It's probably on par with you should smile,
right,
and that kind of a thing where it's annoying, and men, you need to stop expecting women to pick up the emotional slack. Like, and just because we're socialized to feel doesn't mean we have to like carry it for you for the rest of our lives. You can step in and like do that yourself.
The behavior policing of like, if you're out in public or what you have to be, you have to be smiling, you have to look nice, you have to be nice. Like, we don't owe that to anybody, as women. So
right.
if you are not asking other people of that, like, why can't, if you're having, you say have a conflict with somebody and say, can't you just be nicer to that person? Or why do you have to come down on that person so hard? If you wouldn't be saying that, like, to a man, then that's when you need to rethink it.
Okay.
If you're specifically putting the onus on women to be nicer than the man, almost did it, in that position.
But yeah, I could always use a reminder to be nicer.
All right.
Gwen's mine, so
that's out. We're taking that out. Then make the top 3. Continue that. Women are crazy.
This definitely belongs on the list. I hate this one. I hate this one so much. This is so harmful. Mm-hmm. It's so harmful to excuse any behavior that you don't like as mental illness in a woman. Or to say, like, my ex was crazy or something. Motherfucker, you dated her! Like, it minimalizes the impact of mental illness. It really takes the power away from, like, women's anger and because a lot of this times it will come up for, like, a woman is angry or yelling about something or having some behavior that someone thinks is inappropriate, and it may be inappropriate, but inappropriate behavior and mental illness or crazy are 2 different things.
Gotcha. That makes sense, Mariah.
I agree. I mean, I think crazy is something that I am trying to not say so much as a derogatory thing, or just be like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's still something I definitely say, but that's on my radar as one of the words I'm trying to, like, decrease use of, so that's problematic. But I feel like it also falls back in with that you're not like other girls, especially when women, or I know I would say, like, oh, like, going back to that not hanging out with other women, like, oh, they're so crazy, like, it just is
and
so
obviously
dramatic.
I'm saying.
I'm not, right. So it's one of those things that's also used to demean women by other women, and for sure men, that's very dismissive. But how many times you hear someone talk about, like, her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, and like, oh, she was just so crazy, and then they break up and it turns out like the same bad behavior existed in him, but the pass is given to the man.
Right.
You'll see a guy who's like, all my exes are crazy. Like, well, there's one.
What's the common denominator?
One thing that keeps happening, and also. Which is funny, not funny, but what you're saying interesting is like, so like you'll say like, oh, my ex is a psycho or whatever, and then, but you change that nowadays and say that relationship was toxic. Mm-hmm. Now, toxic is about nuclear waste.
And that's marginalizing who?
Exactly. Like nuclear waste, no one likes that.
No.
So that's the one you can always, it's bad? Toxic. And then you're like, you can say that, but if you say psycho, you're making fun of somebody else. It's the way language has evolved There was a book. About talking about somebody who was mentally handicapped. It started with like using how they used to use the word mongoloid to discuss somebody, and then that became an insult, so they changed it to retarded, and then that became an insult, so they changed it to like mentally ill, and then that was. So it's like kind of how they'll make the word, then it becomes an insult, then they have to adjust the word constantly. So it's like the evolution of how we describe a certain group of people based on how society took that word and what they did with it.
But each time more like dignity was applied to the person, right? So it was progressing with society in the way we view them. So I agree that the nomenclature gets picked up and used and distorted, but then it's also being like, we've progressed this far, like viewing all groups of people, let's bring this along with it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you see the difference between like someone is crazy and someone's behavior is toxic?
Yeah.
Like crazy makes it, sound like this is just inherently who they are as a person. There's something wrong with them as a person, versus calling someone's behavior toxic. Like that's what you're really like. That's what your problem is really with somebody. Like
isn't their behavior who they are?
Yeah, I mean I think it's like kind of that person first mentality of saying like people are inherent, nobody's inherently lost, or there are people we're going to believe that people are inherently good. So when we just distill someone down to crazy, like that takes away all of their humanity and agency. Whereas if we say like this person is a flawed person and they do good things and they do bad things, and some of their behaviors are great, and that's what attracted me to them in the first place as a friend or a partner. But some of their behaviors were problematic, and that is why I no longer choose to associate with them.
I think when you were talking about like this person's a psycho versus that relationship was toxic, that was very different wording entirely, because it was putting the onus entirely on the one person for being a psycho versus this relationship, a relationship that two people were working at became toxic. So saying someone's crazy, someone's a psycho is a way to just like punt the blame entirely away from you and not call for any self-reflection, and that's very dangerous. Even if you were with a person who was behaving in a toxic way, you let yourself get into it, but you got into that situation. So make sure you're not just going, that person was bad and like I'm in the clear. It's important to take any opportunity for self-reflection, but I feel like if you're saying all the women I'm with are crazy, like you said, common denominator, maybe do a little digging. Circling back to that.
Well, the ex-psycho and relationship toxic was something I personally had to go through and kind of understanding, because I went through a bad relationship and just kind of understanding how it all works. So I agree, women are crazy. It's pretty bad.
I forgot. Who's left?
Well, actually, is that a top 3 worst thing to say, or you guys are most tired of hearing?
Yes.
Looking forward to having your opinions on, well, actually, I say that to all people I think are wrong. Nolan Miller, and I find when people call men crazy, they will say exactly what mental illness the man has, and women are usually just labeled crazy.
Yes, good point, Nolan.
And Charles said, Dan didn't even think about that. I don't know if that was for Nolan's point. I think it is, because he liked it.
Yeah.
And not our points. So
it's okay.
Way to go, Nolan. Nolan's playing.
We put on pants and drove here, Nolan. Don't steal our
I have on, what are these called?
Swishy pants.
Swishy pants.
Straight out of 1997.
Well, actually, is that a top 3 worst thing or most tired of hearing?
Yes, because I hear it the most frequently. Usually while I'm still saying the sentence I'm on.
All right. I think well actually is a delightful transition that has been co-opted by a man but
big patriarchy.
the words themselves do not boil my ire as
they do.
Well,
so
actually,
Joe, you're gonna have to tiebreak this one.
Man.
Please explain to which of us is wrong on this.
Well, actually, I have a joke where this line is the punchline, so I don't think it's top 3 worst. All right,
For self-preservation.
For self-preservation.
Self-reflection.
I have to make sure this doesn't
Okay.
win because I don't want people to think I'm. Well, I mean, I'm not talking about an actual well in the joke, but but here's what I'll say, Mariah. Do you think of the 3 that we still have on there, that's worse than those 3?
Yes, because I would lump women are crazy in with the you're not like other girls.
Gotcha. Okay.
I feel like they're covering some of the same.
What do you think about you're not like other girls and well actually?
Oh, well, I think if we're narrowing one down, I think women are crazy is more harmful than you're not like other girls.
I would agree.
So if we're trying to like narrow it down between the, I would.
Do you think those are similar, those 2?
Yeah, I think they're similar enough. Like at the root problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So we could probably take off one of those.
Right.
And keep well actually.
That makes sense.
Cool.
So we'll take off you're not like other girls then because women are crazy. Maybe shopping. Okay, good. So we have one more. Comments on their looks. And it seems like, well, actually, it's kind of in the 3rd there. It's comments on your looks. Here's what I don't like about that one. It's not a specific phrase. It's like an overall genre where everything else is not really a genre.
Gotcha. So and to be fair, if I put a lot of work into my appearance and I look nice, like, and you want to offer a respectful, polite compliment on that, like, I'm here for that. I didn't do it for you, like, know that.
If it's a straight up compliment, if it's not backhanded, if it's not like, oh, your lip color's nice, but I wouldn't have got, you know what I mean? If it's something, like, and this goes for women too. I'm not saying like if you're gonna say something genuinely nice to somebody, that's fine. But also, I kind of have the other side of it of where like you might think it's a compliment, that person might not take it. So I think take into consideration your relationship with that person, how well you know them. Maybe don't go around to strangers just laying on all your thoughts.
Yes, yeah. No stranger wants to hear your comment on their looks unless you're being like, oh my god, I'm sorry to be creepy, but your hat is amazing, your eyeshadow looks banging, whatever. Like, if you're genuinely just coming up to like gas somebody up, then I'm here for that. So I could see comments on looks going off the list for that reason.
I usually my favorite compliment to give somebody is like, your shins are delightful.
So maybe you just don't compliment
Yeah,
people.
so yeah, that's a time to just keep that to yourself.
What about I just comment on I wish I had their skin on like as a costume.
No.
Okay, how about this one?
Last one.
I think if we replace your elbows with your kneecaps, it would really look good.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, then I don't know what to do. You know. Comments on looks. We're saying not top 3 worst though.
I guess since as we have said,
It's broad.
there can be good comments on your looks, and I don't mind those.
Let's not say broad.
Do you know where that term comes from?
Broad?
Yeah.
No, but I used to say it when I was a 50s kid.
Back in the 80s. when we were born.
Toots and broad, man.
Toots and
College,
broad.
I said that all the time.
Where does it come from, Mariah?
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I heard this from a podcast and it
actually.
wasn't cited. So, but it's a cut of meat that has a hole in it from the way the structure of the animal is, so it's just referring to a woman as a piece of meat with a hole in it. If that's incorrect, please tell me, but that's a word that I've scrapped because I think that's disgusting. But I still watch Broad City.
Wait, the word, that's, well, I agree, it's bad. Some Holly Craig, I think, said, but that Darkwing Duck shirt, let's get dangerous.
Yes.
Thanks. It was a t-shirt until this morning. The armpit smelled too bad for me to wear it out of the house, so I just turned it into a cutoff.
Nice! Nice.
I also like that it was a comment about your looks.
A very appropriate and welcome.
It was about his
comment
shirt.
your
It was a
looks.
reference.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, you know.
Oh, well, and like, what that comes down to, I think, is not assigning value to somebody's looks.
Yeah.
You know, is like, you look unhealthy because of your looks. You know, look like you're, you look angry, you know.
Right.
Like, just objectively say I like or do not like that, and look at that.
Better than you usually do.
Right. Fuck that.
You look good today. That's
Yeah.
a weird one.
Yeah.
You look good tomorrow. I'm from the future. Is that okay? Can I use that one?
No.
Yeah,
damn it.
Fighting and bothering a woman.
If you legitimately build a time machine go into the future, evaluate what she's wearing, and say, that was a good choice. Then get back in the time machine, go back in time until, then yes, you can do that.
Well,
Otherwise,
I have a project for this week. All right, we got down to our 3, folks. Well, actually, women are crazy, and, of course, not all men. Which one of those doesn't stand out as the other 2? I know what Gwen's going to say. I'm asking. I think I know what Gwen's going to say is not the one that works with the other 2. Mariah, what do you think? I'm not trying to mansplain, but you've already made it kind of clear.
Thanks for listening to me, Joe.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem, friend.
Joe Bates listens to women, y'all. You heard it here first.
You can play back through this episode and see that as factually inaccurate.
I think this episode just got a highlight.
I'm just gonna piece together us saying nice things about
You're right, Joe. Wow, good point, Joe. That was fine. Joe Bates listens to women, the podcast.
What women want to. Joe Bates listens to women.
Honestly, just syllables too. It's like just this long. Oh, it's all right, guy for everyone that knows him. Mariah, what's the one that stands out as not like the other 2? That's not as good.
While it is the most prevalent, I believe it's the most benign. I'm going to get rid of well, actually.
All right. I think, Gwen, am I correct in saying that was the one you're going to take off? We are down to our final 2. Women are crazy, not all men. I got to tell you, they're both centric on a different gender. And also, I'll say this. It's a difficult choice. Not all men and women are crazy, both destructive. Both terrible things. Don't say them, guys. You know me. You know me and how I stand for things. Don't say anything ever again. Everyone be quiet.
You went too far.
The world should be quiet. Everyone says too many things tomorrow.
I've been there, I know.
Yeah, I actually built a time machine and came back into my body after you made the comment in there, and everyone's real loud. Before we continue, another comment from Holly Brooks. I'm sorry. A dude would high five another dude for a cool shirt. That's the litmus test.
There you go.
I mean, we all have pretty rad shirts on today.
We do.
Thank you.
Got this totally.
Totally.
I don't really understand yours, but you're way cooler than
It
me.
says girls to the front.
Oh, I didn't know
Girls
it
to
was a
the
band.
front.
Girls to the front.
This is actually my well-totally shirt. And, thank you.
I wish
I
you
know
had
you didn't want to
failed.
laugh, but you did. Okay, not all men. Women are crazy. Our final 2. We are doing the vote, folks. The vote. We will start with Mariah Anglin. What are you voting as the thing women are most tired of hearing?
Alright, I'm going to have to talk it out because
I would love that.
covers vastly different. Okay.
Not that it matters.
So I don't like that not all men, see, I don't know if that makes it worse or better. That it's focused on exonerating men from their behavior, but so is women are crazy.
Absolutely.
It's kind of the same thing. So
Just
it's
remember,
giving
the thing that doesn't win is allowed to be said.
right. I mean, this is the deciding factor. It's so much.
A lot of pressure here.
Oh, okay.
The fate of women.
I know.
The shit
And I
we're
didn't
gonna
even
do
like the
rests on
people
us.
until like 6 months ago. I'm still recovering. Oh God. Okay. I am most sick of hearing women are crazy because I feel like that's been happening. Like specifically, that phrase has been thrown around a lot. Not all men obviously refers to a problem that has been around for goddamn ever. But women are crazy. That's something I definitely grew up hearing, and I know formed a lot of like the way I think and believe. That's something that it was deeply internalized. The not all men thing, that issue certainly exists my whole life, but I didn't experience it or see it as much until recently. So I think women are crazy is the one that I am most sick of hearing.
One vote for women are crazy, folks. I'm going to vote next. And you know what? Now I'm going to go from a different angle, you guys, of what you guys are tired of listening to. What I'm tired of saying. Not all men. I'm tired of saying it. It's not good that I'm saying. No, Jesus Christ. That did not get a laugh either. I vote.
Wonder why.
I thought it. I mean, it was the timing. That's the problem. It was the timing. In
Like that it was
2018.
during your lifetime?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
The
year.
audience.
No, I'm gonna vote not all men as the thing women are most tired of hearing because I always vote the opposite of the first person.
There is a formula, ladies and gentlemen.
Gwen, you are the tiebreaker. Your decision again decides the fate of womanamity.
Man.
I mean, you got not all men on one side. You got women are crazy. What do you think? Feel free to talk it out. What do you think is the thing women are most tired of hearing?
Yeah. Ooh. So I think I would have to agree with Mariah here that we've been hearing not all men for a substantially less, long time, the amount of time we've been hearing, correct? Whereas Women Are Crazy has gone back generations, like back to the idea that hysteria was about the like medical diagnosis of hysteria was because women had a uterus, which the Latin word for is the root for, and that's like why vibrators were invented. That was the treatment for hysteria. Was like getting off, just set your mind right and everything. So.
You know what I say? It's not hysteria, it's hersteria.
Cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good work, Joe. That really added to this conversation. And
made it
like
hysteria.
like the medical history of women being like told that. Thank you for taking like a moment where we're trying to say like this is something that like something that women have faced for generations and turning it into a pun.
I know, but I was real excited to say it. That's sorry, Gwen. I was like at the timing. I gotta say it now. I can't wait. It won't make any sense when I say it.
What
later.
if you just put this on your head for the rest of the time?
Yeah, feel free to bring it back.
There we go.
All right, folks.
Is there a mouth guard?
Joe is in the pedaling
Okay.
box.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Joe's
pedaling
in
box.
the pedaling box.
Spider-Man. You're
Yeah.
up.
So I'm gonna have to go with Women Are Crazy is the most harmful. We've definitely been hearing it the longest of the things on this list, and it's harmful in a lot of ways. It's harmful for people with mental illness, like changes that discussion, and for all the other reasons we've talked about as well.
Okay.
So, I'm tired of hearing it.
Sounds good.
Stop it.
That means the winner is, folks, of course, Women Are Crazy. That's what they're tired of hearing, so stop saying it. Stop it.
Stop saying all of them. Though.
Yeah, all of them.
Like just because this one won, like don't do any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of...
This was like the Sophie's Choice of
Not
lists.
really.
Like, hard to take things off.
I know, that woman was crazy. No.
Joe?
No, you can't say it anymore. Come on, I've already. This has got me fired. The thing. Well, women are most tired of hearing. Women are crazy. Obviously, a very great episode. Very informative. I appreciate both of you, Gwen and Mariah, for helping out with the show. Also filling in a show that kind of was put together last second and ended up being fantastic. Gwen and Mariah are both very funny stand-up comics in the scene, but they're not just that. They're people too. But if you want to follow their stand-up and their careers and everything, Mariah, do you have anything you'd like to plug or social media?
I mean, we're all on a show tonight that I don't remember the details of, so hopefully y'all will cover that. I'm not really on social media too much. My Instagram is _trailerswift_. And my Twitter is the @ sign and the word @ Mariah Anglin. MariahAnglin.
Awesome.
Gwen? What are your social media, Gwen? Mariah, very funny, very good times. Very good. The show tonight will be great. We did a show in Eaton that was very funny. I had trouble following her. So that's because of her, and she's She's very funny. Gwen Sunkel also very funny. She runs a couple shows. Anything you like to plug? Shows? Social media?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter and Instagram at @GwenderWoman. I'll be on the show tonight up at the Kettle's Hot Brewing House in Anderson. Tuesday, I'm in Louisville at Titty Tiki Tuesdays. And June 27th, I'm going to be in Bloomington at the back door for our Nasty Women Bloomington benefit, which is all the proceeds from that are going to the All Options Pregnancy Resource Center's Hoosier Abortion Fund. So come on up and get some comedy in Bloomington.
I will be there as well.
Yeah!
Not performing.
Just supporting.
Just supporting.
Yeah, because his very funny girlfriend is on the show.
She is.
So come on out, Bloomingtonians.
If you guys are watching, love you guys to like and rank very much the Facebook page. It helps me out. Subscribe on YouTube, obviously, and just comment on the post. Let me know what you think about the future shows. If you have any ideas you'd like to do, if you're in Indianapolis and would like to be on this show, let me know. We do every Saturday, 1 p.m. live, a video stream. Today's episode was great, fantastic. You can follow me on Twitter at JoeAmerica22. Stand-up wise, I'm in St. Louis Monday, the Funny Bone for a contest. Cincinnati Wednesday for a contest at Go Bananas. Tuesday at State Street Pub to do a slideshow show. An evening with the authors. I really want to run an evening with the authors. That's a Facebook page you definitely like. Great videos and another podcast. An evening with the authors. There's 3 episodes up. If you like NPR and people making fun of the idea of NPR, you would love an evening with the authors. So definitely check it out. But that's it, folks. Thing women are most tired of hearing. Women are crazy. That's the winner. That's thank you very much. You're welcome.
Bye.
Oh man, I'm too old to stand.